everyone, it is another season. What are we doing? Holiday decor hunt. I almost said Halloween, you know I did. That's where my brain went and it glitched. I was like, wait, that's not right. Backtrack, here we go. It is another season, holiday decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. We are back out on the holiday hunt, everybody. It's another season. So this video, my hunting days are a little mixed up because I was hunting. Well, first of all, I wanted to squeeze a little sponsor in, so I hope that's okay with you guys. Second of all, I was doing holiday hunting while I was out Halloween clearance hunting. And so I kind of didn't even do much of an intro talking about what we're doing. And then also I didn't even talk about my themes. So I was like just going out holiday hunting, didn't even talk about what we're looking for or what kind of things, like what themes or what lines we're looking forward to or what stores, all that kind of stuff. So my themes, I'm not doing brand new themes this year. There are a couple of things I'm wanting to add, but mainly, like, so in my living room, I do a dark holiday line. So you know we're going to be stocking the Michaels dark holiday line in this video because they put out a whole collection of black items. It's beautiful. You'll see that in this video. So I'm doing a darker theme in my living room and it has some jewel tones thrown in. So I have these stockings that are a deep kind of jewel tone, emerald green color. And so I'm mixing a dark theme with kind of a mystical, magical, almost nutcrackery, but not nutcracker. It is nutcracker, but it's not in your face nutcracker. Like I don't have a bunch of nutcracker stuff on my mantle. It's just the stockings basically. That's and some pillows and that's it. But that mantle itself is more of a dark holiday vibe with I want to put in some emerald greens this year to kind of pull in the green color and the garland and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be looking for some emerald green stuff, jewel tone stuff. And then in my kitchen, I'm doing more of a classic Christmas theme again this year. In my dining room, we're going to mix some of the darker stuff with silver and glistening kind of stuff in my dining room, I think is what we're going to do. So that's the majority of the stuff I'm going to be looking for. So I'm going to show a little bit of everything in this video. I'm headed to Walmart right now, and we're also going to go to Kohl's. And then what else is in this video? Where else did we go? Did we go anywhere else? I don't even know at this point. It's been so all over the place, mainly because my kids have been sick. They were sick the week before Halloween. And then, of course, every year after Halloween, we all get sick, but the boys both got sick again 2 weeks later with some other cold. It was colds both times, and I'm like, So I've kind of been taking breaks just to pause and see, am I going to get anything? You know, I try to give myself some time there so I'm not, an incubator basically. And that reminds me, just thinking about the fact that I usually always get sick this time of year, it occurred to me, I go to my dentist appointments, I do that, and I go to my women's appointments, but when it comes to just a general checkup or even dermatologist, I need to go. I need to go bad. And for me, a lot of times I get sidetracked or I put it off or I'm like, I don't even know who to go to. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, this all just seems like a lot of work to look up what physician to go to. Like, how long is it going to take to get in? How long do you have to wait? Do they even take my insurance? All this stuff just seems like a headache to me. I don't know if anyone else feels this way. So enter the sponsor for today's video. The sponsor for today's video is ZocDoc, which makes it easier to find the right doctor right now. And it's all online. So you could even book your appointment, and the time it takes you to get through this ad, you can already have an appointment booked. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. And appointments made through ZocDoc can happen really fast, like within 24 to 72 hours, from mental health to dental health to primary care to urgent care and more. And what I love the most about ZocDoc is once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings, choose a time slot that works for you, and click to instantly book a slot. If you're like me and you want to stop putting off those doctor's appointments, you can head to ZocDoc.com/JadeTheLibra to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. So that's ZocDoc.com/JadeTheLibra, ZocDoc.com/JadeTheLibra. So definitely check out ZocDoc if you've been putting off your appointments like I have. Anyways, we're here at Walmart. This is our first stop. We're going in. Here we go. Of Walmart, and the only thing I really wanted in there was these dang mint M&M's. I get so excited for them every year and they always sell out. I hope they don't melt while we're in Kohl's because, dang it, these are always the worst to open too. Wait, no, this is easy. Okay, I just want a little hole in the side. I just want a little mint situation while we cruise to Kohl's. So, we just left Walmart. I don't know. I know Walmart came out with their stuff a while ago, so I could just be late to the game. But it wasn't even like it looked sparse. It just looked like they scaled way back. Anyways, why is it getting warm? I thought we were done with this, Mr. Skeleton. So we did see some, I'll start with the licensed stuff because that's what I saw first. So they had some Snoopy stuff, figurines, mugs. They had like, I think, was it a little mailbox or was the mailbox Lilo and Stitch? I don't remember. And then they had some Stitch, like Lilo and Stitch stuff. Man, these trees are beautiful. While you guys are watching this video, just take a gander out the window to look at some of these trees because they are beautiful. These yellow trees out here, oh my gosh. Anyway, that's besides the point. We're talking about Stitch. So, they had Stitch, and then they also had some Grinch stuff. They had some tabletop decor, pretty much all the same kind of things, but in each theme. So tabletop decor, mugs or glasses. They had a tree guy. He sticks out of the tree. They had a tree skirt or tree, what do you call it? It's not a skirt. It's one of the big, it's like the big thing that goes at the bottom. The big, I don't remember what they call it. Tree, dang it. It left my brain. I know this word. Tree. Not skirt. It's not skirt. I know some of you are like, it's a skirt. No, it's like the big one. They don't call it the skirt. They call it the tree. Hold on a minute. I'm waiting at a train so I can look this up. Tree collar. Tree collar. For those of you out there that were like, collar, Google, it's collar, then I hear ya. It's a tree collar. Anyways, they had a Grinch tree collar that I thought was really cute. And what other Grinch things do they have? Some wall decor, like a little license plate thing. They had some little stuff. Do they have stuffies in here? Like little plushies? Or was that Nightmare? I don't know, but they had a bunch. They had a flocked Grinch decor piece. And they had some figurines. They also, so I'll just show the rest of the Grinch stuff here because they had a bunch of Grinch stuff in here. And then they also had some Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, which I was excited to see. Because Lucian likes all of the, of course, naturally, he likes all of the, not scary, but like, evil Christmas stuff, the darker Christmas stuff. Because he likes Nightmare too. And I know a lot of the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, like the Jacks are wearing Santa hats and stuff. But I love that just in general, you can cross over, like you can reuse a lot of stuff from Halloween into Christmas for Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, which I really like. But anyway, they had a bunch of Nightmare stuff, plushies. They had tabletop decor. They had snow globes. They had a tree skirt. Think what I'm going to do. I forgot to mention this. So every year I do my white tree with black ornaments. So I was thinking because every year my stepmom has been giving us Nightmare Before Christmas ornaments. And so I think I have enough now to do a full tree. So I thought about doing a Nightmare Before Christmas tree for Lucian since I have so many Nightmare ornaments from Hallmark. But this year I think I'm going to put them on my white tree and then do some Nightmare Before gift wrap on the bottom. I don't know. We'll see where the spooky wind blows us. Anyways, so I liked, they also had a Nightmare, they had a Jack Skellington tree hugger and some other Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. But the tree skirt was really cute. I might go back. And then we saw the regular decor. And they had a couple of different themes. One was kind of an in-your-face Christmas theme with big pictures of Santa and Mrs. Claus on a bench. They also had some little figurines blowing bubble gum or a bubble or whatnot. And then they had, what else they have? A big red nutcracker. They had some glass trees, some red glass trees. They also had some green. Oh, they also had a really pretty green, kind of retro inspired. I've been seeing a lot of these kind of glass, either candlestick holders or glass trees. And they had some peppermint trees and a lot of trees and Santas, reindeer, snowmen. They had a snowman, like an LED candle snowman that was kind of cool. It was more of a classic Christmas look. Lots of classic Christmas in this area, some retro feels in here too. And then they also had, what was the other one? They had one that had kind of grays and blues and whites and silvers. And they had the glass trees that were silver. They had acrylic nutcrackers. They had the acrylic snowmen. And what were the other acrylic things? They have trees. I don't remember, but they had some cute acrylic stuff. And nutcrackers. Oh wait, I already said nutcrackers. But they had a couple of different acrylic nutcrackers. And they had wall decor that matched the theme. It had snowmen with light blue and silver. And they had, what other? Oh, they had some trees that were a grayish blue. I couldn't tell if they were blue or gray or black. Or like a smoky color, but all the above. They were really pretty. And oh man, they had all sorts of stuff. Reindeer and greenery, and they had wreaths, like a silver glittery wreath. And what else? Man, Kohl's is always slammed. It's always slammed. But yeah. Then they had another little area that had more golds. And did it have wooden stuff? Or was it more, I can't remember what was it, golds and wooden stuff and sage greens, and I don't know if I'm remembering any of this correctly, or maybe it was just joy to the world and golds and sparkly looking things. I don't know. This area was kind of picked over a little bit. The gold area had these really pretty gold flecked ornaments. It was like gold flecked stuffed glass ornament or plastic, or I don't know. But they were really pretty ornaments. They had little houses. Anything else I'm missing, I'll show here. But they did have a good selection. But also the selection at that Walmart isn't always the greatest. So maybe we'll have to go buy a different one next week. But yeah, so they had some, did I say Halloween? I feel like I said Halloween. Christmas, holiday. Did I say Halloween? Anyways, that's what we saw at Walmart. Did I see anything else? I don't know, but it's freaking hot. Dang it. Anyways, we're here at Kohl's. We're going to go in. Mr. Skeleton, we're sweating, sir. We're sweating. Lord, I did not think it was going to be this freaking hot, y'all. It's one of those days where it's like 40 degrees in the morning and then 70 in the afternoon. Like, how does it even happen? Why? It's so freaking hot. 73, and I'm wearing performance fleece. I know. We're driving. Anyways, we went to Kohl's. They had the deals. They had 50% off plus an extra 15% off. There were steals of deals in there that I've never seen. No, I don't know. I've probably seen deals like that, but their Christmas was marked down more than their Halloween that was left over. And they didn't have a lot of nothing to write home about. Woo! Mr. Skeleton, you would think it was July, sir. We're taking this performance fleece off as soon as we get home. Anyways, what were we talking about? Something about, didn't see any decor, and then I realized it was all in the front. So the decor, they had some stuff. It was mainly like glass trees, wooden trees, ceramic trees, bottle brush trees, metal trees, a lot of trees. And they were in all different colors. Green, they had a couple black trees in there. White, gold, silver, pink, peppermint, all different types of trees in here. And then everything was kind of crammed together. So you saw some pastel stuff with classic Christmas stuff. Oh my God, pump up the AC. Lord, turn it down. And a lot of the stuff was kind of all crammed in together. So you saw some pastel stuff with the classic Christmas stuff. And then all of it was like Santa's next to cupcakes and all sorts of stuff. So they had some classic Christmas in there. They also had some, what else? Snowmen. They had some wooden decor. And then they had some beautiful cookie jars that were gingerbread house cookie jars. And several different ones. And different sizes. They were so pretty. And then what else did they have? Did they have other houses in here? And greenery and candles. They had all sorts of trees, Santas, reindeer, nutcrackers, all the usual suspects in the Christmas department. And then they also had some things with bows. They also had an area that had all these, you know, those things, those water globes with the glitter that flies up. They had a bunch of those. So they had gingerbread, they had a snowman, a couple of snowman looking ones. They had lantern looking ones. They had ones that looked like houses. They had candle looking ones. I don't know if those ones worked. Okay, I'm slowing down. And then they had, what else? I don't even know what else they had in here. They had so much Christmas stuff in here, and it was all smashed together. Anything else I'm missing, I'll show here, because I'm sure I'm missing something. They had so much to see here. And then they had some bakeware stuff, and some of the bakeware stuff I didn't get because it's right by the Amazon return area, so it was wrapped right in front of it. They did have an area that was more gingerbread stuff. They had a casserole dish, and the casserole dish had this wooden top that was really pretty. They also had this charcuterie, like, cutting board, and then it had a little area where you could put your knife, which I thought was really nice. And then they had a butter dish. They had, what else? Cookie jars. They had rolling pins. They had mugs, a couple of different gingerbread mugs. They had, what else did they have in this area? They had mainly gingerbread and like a couple of other little festive things in here. And then they had some bathroom stuff, and the bathroom stuff I'm the most excited about because last year we bought the boys matching Rudolph sheets for Christmas, like, you know, the cartoon Rudolph. Well, they have the full bathroom set at Kohl's. It was 50% off plus an extra 15, so 65% off, which is a steal of a deal. They had the soap dispensers, they had the Rudolph ones, they had the Abominable Snowman ones, and then they had the Grinch one. And then they had a bunch of shower curtains that matched. They had the Rudolph ones, they had the Grinch, they had Snoopy, they had the Abominable Snowman, they had, who else? Or the Yeti, you know, Yeti. And then they had, oh, what else they had? Winnie the Pooh. They had, what other ones did they have in here? I don't even know, but they had a bunch of the different characters, and they also had some classic holiday ones like trees and snowmen and that kind of thing. And then they had the matching bath mats. So they had one that said Joy that had Rudolph. They had then a bunch of other holiday mats like peppermints and snowmen and snowflakes and what else? Things that said, did they say things like Merry Christmas, or I don't even know what I'm talking about now, but they had a bunch of holiday bath mats in this area. They had Winnie the Pooh, Snoopy, Mickey, and then they had more bathroom towels in another little area that had Mickey and Winnie the Pooh and Snoopy and Peanuts, like a bunch of the different, they had a couple of different Snoopy ones. And then they had some snowmen, they had some, did they have cardinals? And trees and snowflakes and all the classic stuff too in here. And all sorts of holiday towels. Oh, they also had a holiday towel that had the Disney princesses and like a bunch of gold glitter, like it looked like a holiday magic looking thing. And then they had a Minnie, and then they had a Mickey Mouse one with reindeer, and I can't remember what the other ones were, but they had a bunch of different towels. And then they also had some sheets, some Christmas sheets. One had, did they have skiers or winter people that are on? I don't know what was on it. And then they had, what was it, a nutcracker? I don't even remember what they looked like at this point. It was so long ago, like 10 minutes ago. But anyway, we saw some sheets. And they also had some holiday comforters. They had some with mistletoe. Some, was one like a winter wonderland looking one with snowmen. And what was another one? I can't remember what the other one was. And then one was like a classic Christmas quilt one that looked like the classic Christmas plates with the Christmas tree. That was really pretty. And then what else did we see? I feel like we saw more stuff. Oh, they had a bunch of Christmas trees, really pretty Christmas trees marked down. Oh, and then they had Nightmare Before Christmas wrapping paper. They had a bunch of wrapping paper, but the Nightmare Before Christmas was there. Whatever else I'm missing, I'll show here, but man, they had some good, maybe I'm missing some rugs. Did they have some snowflake rugs or something? I don't know. I'll show everything that I saw because they had some goods. Anyways, that's it for today. Hey everyone, it is another day. Holiday, I almost said Halloween, you know I did. Holiday decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. There's so many places we need to go. We are behind on the holiday hunt. I did go to HomeGoods last week. I'm gonna show a couple of things here as I'm talking about it because I did see some things, and I'm hoping in this video we'll go to HomeGoods at least once and we can see what else is out there. But I did see some Joanna Parker out there on the early holiday hunt. They had some mugs. They had a reindeer mug. a couple of different snowman mugs. I think one was, they had a red scarf and one had a pink scarf. They had a was it a Santa mug? They have a Santa? Or am I just imagining things? I think they also had a Santa mug and a couple of different Joanna Parker mugs. They also had some salt and pepper shakers. They had the snowman. They had the, I don't know if I saw the reindeer. Did I see the Santas or did I just see the snowman and the reindeer or something? I don't know. So a couple of different Joanna Parker salt and pepper shakers. I'm getting a little mixed up because I also saw some Thanksgiving turkey ones. So I know I saw that, but then I also think I saw some Santa, I don't remember. I think they were Santas and snowmen. Anyways, then we also saw, oh my gosh, you guys, I walked into HomeGoods to look for Halloween clearance, and there it was in the holiday section on one of the end caps. I have been waiting years to find a Joanna Parker Santa cookie jar. I have been waiting years. I never see them at HomeGoods ever. And there he was in all of his glory. Maybe I need to run up there. It is going to be a total disaster today because it is 11:43 on a Saturday. I already know it's going to be a mess at HomeGoods today. And then also at HomeGoods, I found these throw pillows. I know, don't lecture me, everybody. I know some of you out there are like, Kohl, you do not need more throw pillows because you complain about it all the time. I know, but these match my stockings for my living room. So I got them. Anyways, they had the Nutcracker print that matched my Nutcracker stockings that I got from Pottery Barn for a fraction of the price of anything Pottery Barn. All right, everyone, we're leaving Michael's and TJ Maxx and HomeGoods. I didn't even get any visuals of anything because people were everywhere in there. That was, wow. I don't know if I've ever seen it that busy at HomeGoods, TJ Maxx. So I couldn't even get visuals of anything because people were just everywhere. We did go to Michael's though, and we did see some holiday stuff at Michael's. They did have some of the dark line, but half of the shelf was Halloween and half of the shelf was this dark holiday decor. So they had some trees. They're like these kind of chrome looking silverish, but like a darker silver looking titanium. I don't know what color I want to say it is, but like darker silver trees. They had some black velvet pine cones. They had some black deer, once again, bigger ones and smaller ones. They had some nutcrackers. They had a gorgeous black wreath with these ornaments on it. Oh, it was beautiful. They had, what else did they have in here? I don't know, but so far, this dark line is way prettier than I was expecting. I saw it online. I was like, I don't know if I need this. And I'm seeing it in person. And I'm like, oh, wait, this is really good. And it's already 40% off. Anyways, what I'm seeing so far of this dark holiday line is beautiful. I am loving it so far. I did not know if I would love it, but I am. It's like this kind of black studded, I don't know. It goes with pretty much everything in my house. It's gorgeous so far. I didn't see any of the wall decor or any of the, I don't know, there were a couple things I saw online that I didn't see there. So actually a lot of stuff. So we'll be checking back in on that line to see if they put it out. And then they had a whole in-your-face Christmas line. In-your-face Christmas is back this year. They had red and white and peppermints, classic Santas, and lots of classic Christmas, which I love to see because I feel like the last several years they've done more bright colors, multicolored, pastels. I love a classic peppermint with Santas and all that kind of stuff, like a classic Santa. Anyway, so they had just this really cute peppermint line with all this classic Santa stuff and candy canes and nutcrackers, and they had little dangly leg guys, and they had little candlestick holders that were peppermint kind of looking. They also had another line that I think they're doing is more of a rustic line. They had a couple of pictures out, but that was pretty much it. But the pictures were really pretty. They were kind of these detailed sketch looking pictures. One was Santa and the other one was Santa with a tree. And it was kind of wilderness looking, but I really liked it. Very simple, very rustic looking. This year, I'm loving the black kind of studded stuff more than I thought I was going to love it. So far, it's such a good line. So we're going to keep our eyes on it. Hey everyone, it is another day, holiday decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. We got to find Mr. Skeleton's Santa hat. Anyways, today, where are we going today? We're going to, so the other day we were going to go to TJ Maxx and HomeGoods, and it was a total disaster. Like, it was just so busy that I couldn't even, it was ridiculous. Probably the busiest I've ever seen it. So we're crawling back for more HomeGoods. Here we come. It's slammed again. Dang. 'Tis the season. I usually try to get out early to beat the crowds, but I went and got my nails done. I got a little harvest nail situation going on, but it is, man, I feel like I'm never, like, the parking is all the way in the back. So, anyways, we're going to go here into HomeGoods and TJ Maxx and Michael's. Let's do it, Mr. Skeleton. Here we go. Man, it's kind of warm today. Mr. Skeleton, sir. We're feeling slightly overwhelmed. I don't know. It's the line. It was the line. I saw some really cute stuff in HomeGoods, TJ Maxx Hybrid. But the line, I know 'tis the season. If you guys are like, get used to it, Ghoul, get used to it. 'Tis the season. But the line was wrapped around the whole store. It is Monday at 1:26 p.m. wrapped around the whole store. So I already know that I usually get out really early, like at opening. And I think that's the only way to do it. That or probably before close, but I don't even know at this point. I had some things in my cart and I just put it back. And I've talked about spending most of my life in line at HomeGoods, but that would have been my whole life in line. But let's think positive thoughts. Let's talk about what they had, because they had some really cute stuff. And the first things, let's talk about the spooky Halloween, not Halloween. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get over this. Like this. But the spooky holiday stuff. That's what I meant to say. Of course, Halloween is spooky, but they had some spooky holiday stuff, and they had ghosts. Okay, and I had a feeling this was coming because I had talked to a worker. I don't know what this person, like what they do. They work for HomeGoods, but I don't know corporate. I don't know where they're at. Manager, district manager. I don't know what this guy does. But there was this guy and dressed fancier than, like, he wasn't wearing the apron or anything like that. He was kind of dressed in like a collared shirt and slacks, and he was walking around the store. He asked how I was liking the Halloween stuff, how I liked the Summerween stuff, was asking me a million questions about stuff. I was just sitting there answering him, being honest, like whatever. And then he's like, what's something you want to see? Or you can be honest, what you thought of this or what you want to see more of. And I told him honestly, like I just kind of put it out there, that I thought Summerween should have come out a month earlier, like in May. And then Halloween, because Summerween and Halloween crossed over a little too much to where I think a lot of people thought that that's what we were getting for Halloween, for one. But two, it started mixing together on the shelves, and it just looked really cluttered, and it just didn't, like the Summerween stuff I feel like could have been a standalone line before Halloween came out. And that was just my personal opinion, because I feel like the stores that got it out early sold it, and the ones that got it out late, it ended up in clearance. That's just what I noticed. Anyway, that's just what I told him. That's besides the point. I'm going on a whole rant about this. This really wasn't a long story, but here we are. Anyways, I was like, and I also want to see spooky stuff kind of go into holidays like Halloween or, you know, that kind of stuff. And he said, oh, it's coming, just wait. And I was like thinking, is it though? You know, because you just never know if they're saying that or if it's for real. Because sometimes people say that, and then you get like the line at Michael's that was the swan line, you know. And I know a lot of people like that line, so I'm not talking smack on that line. I'm just saying that wasn't really like a dark, it was, but it was still, you know, I don't know. It wasn't the best line that I've ever seen. I know a lot of us weren't super crazy about it. But anyways, longest story longer, I saw some ghosty Christmas stuff. So we saw a ghost walking a ghost dog, and the ghost was wearing a Santa hat, then a ghost with Christmas lights, holding Christmas lights, and then what was there was a ghost with a dog doing something else. What was he doing? I don't know, but it also had a Santa hat on. So we saw some ghost Christmas decor, which I was so excited to see, and it was just refreshing to see it out there. I know some people are going to be really mad about this, but I just feel like it made me giggle. Like I was happy to see it. Anyways, so they had some ghosty Christmas stuff. Then we saw some darker stuff. So they had black reindeer, they had black metal reindeer, they had black glittery reindeer, lots of black reindeer this year, more than we usually see. So it wasn't like a ton, but they had a lot of options, more than usual. Then they also had some black trees, some glass trees. They had, which I had in my cart, and I took it back. And I'm going to regret that because then I went over to Michael's and it was double the price. So I'm kicking myself already for not getting that black glass tree. But I did not want to wait in that line. And I don't even know if I need the tree. I'd like to have it, but if I don't find it again, I'm not going to be heartbroken about it. I mainly saw black reindeer. I didn't see a lot of black trees in here or a lot of black in general, but the black reindeer were an option. They also had some white glittery reindeer and white reindeer. They had silver reindeer, silver trees, nutcrackers. They had everything, and they had all the different color schemes. So they had silvers, they had golds, they had greens, they had reds. And it was like everything you can think of. So the nutcrackers and the trees and the bristly kind of bottle brush trees. They had classic Santas, like in the red suit Santas. And then they had pretty much every color scheme you can think of and all the various things. They also had some Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. They had a Jack Skellington. Was he coming out of a chimney? Or something like that. And then the other one I think had zero with it. It had some snow globes. One was beautiful. It was like a whole scenery. It was gorgeous. Then they had white ones, they had glittery ones, they had ones with trees, they had ones with all sorts of different nutcrackers, all different things. They also had a whole pastel table with all the pinks and the pink peppermint looking trees and the pastel Santas and the nutcrackers, and once again everything all in the pastels. And I got, I think, a decent visual of that because that one looked more organized. A lot of the other stuff was just kind of slammed on shelves, all smashed together. So I just got visuals of what I could. They had some pillows. They had jewel tone pillows, so greens with snowflakes and trees. And they had beaded ones and non-beaded ones. They had peppermint pillows. They had a lot of pillows in here, classic Christmas pillows. Bedazzled pillows, bunch of different holiday pillows. They also had, what else they have? Oh, they had some ceramics, so they had plates. Oh my gosh, the Royal Stafford Christmas plates this year are beautiful. They're this classic old world kind of Christmas look. They're white plates with a red design. There's Santa and his sleigh and the reindeer. They're beautiful, beautiful. So I got some visuals of that. Also saw some pie plates. One was black and silver, black and white. Then one had, what was the other one? Classic Christmas? I don't know. They also had some mugs, lots of different mugs. Anything's from Santa, Mrs. Claus, snowman. They had, oh, this one, I don't know. It was kind of a kitschy looking Christmas mug that was really cute. They had a couple of them, and with just different holiday looking, like just classic kind of Christmas look. And then they had a bunch of Grinch ceramic stuff, so Grinch cookie jars and canisters, and what else? Did I see salt and pepper shakers, or was it just, I don't know, but they had all sorts of different Grinchmas, Grinch mugs. And they also had some Hello Kitty, like a little figurine, and I think, was there a canister maybe? And what other stuff did I see? I'm trying to think. But lots of different ceramics in this area. Then I saw some towels, some hand towels, and all the different themes. They had Santas and reindeer and snowflakes and trees, and they had a Sesame Street, maybe a couple Sesame Street bathroom towels that were really cute. And I don't know, they just had all the different hand towels. And then they had, I didn't get a visual of the kitchen towels, just the bathroom ones. They had some bathroom rugs. They had a white and green one. I think I only got visuals of a couple because people were coming down the aisle and I was trying to lay them out on the floor and I felt really bad about it. I got a couple of those visuals. Then I saw some soap dispensers. I got visuals of, like, I did a whole panning of them. And then I got a couple, there was a black tree one that was really cute with a gold little pump. And another one that was really pretty that was just, it already had soap in it. It was kind of an amber color and had a little gingerbread house on it. I thought that was pretty. And, but yeah, some classic Santa stuff and all sorts of different soap dispensers in here. What else did we see? Oh man, there was so much to see. It's like Christmas threw up in there. So anyways, I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff, but we'll be back to look at all the goods here this week. We'll just keep going back. So eventually we'll see the whole thing. Then we cruised over to Michael's, and Michael's got more of their dark stuff out, and I was so excited to see it. They got their glass trees, the black glass trees out, or just one of them. I think there's another option, but I didn't see it there. They had these metal snowflakes. They had, I think we saw the nutcrackers last time, I believe. What else do they have in here? I can't remember. Ornaments or something, I don't remember. And in another little area, they had reindeer with a sleigh that was all black. They had these big jingle bells, these black jingle bells. They had some ornaments. One was studded, and I loved it. And then they had one that had more bedazzlements on it. And I don't remember what the other ones were, but they had a bunch of different ornaments and all that kind of stuff. And then they had this whole pastel / iridescent line that was called, I think, Christmas in the Castle. It was really magical looking, kind of nutcracker-ish, but it was a beautiful line. It was very pastel-y, but it was really pretty. And I thought it was a really inspired line, just not anything that I decorate with. But that's okay. I'll show it anyways because I thought it was really pretty. They had lots of iridescent things. They had reindeer and trees, lots of things that lit up, like the acrylic look. And then they also had some ceramic trees that were iridescent in different pastel colors. They had, oh man, what else? They had some really pretty wall decor. I love the frames on these pieces. They had a castle one, and then I think they had one with, it wasn't a ballerina, maybe it was a princess, or I don't know what it was, but it was beautiful. I love the frames. That's all I gotta say about that. The frames were the best part. And then they had big nutcrackers, reindeer. They had ornaments, little prince, or like little, were they nutcrackers? Were they knights? Were they princes, Prince Charmings? I don't know. Ballerinas, or were they princesses? I don't know. They all started meshing together because I don't even know what I was looking at. Lots of sparkle and pastel, and I don't know. It was really pretty. Just not my style, but really pretty. Oh man, so many things in this line. Some of it was acrylic and some of it was pastel iridescent and some was just white iridescent. So they had a lot of different, I don't know, it was a really, really pretty line, I thought. If you decorate with this type of color scheme or you've been looking for a line like this is such a good line. And they had another line that kind of meshed into this line, and I can't remember what they called it. Forest? Was it called Forest? It was more nutcracker-ish maybe, or I don't know. It kind of looked the same to me, but it had more pearl stuff. It had pearl reindeer busts and pearl ornaments and trees, and it was more, I think, was it called Forest, or I don't know what it, Enchanted? I don't know what it was called. But then they had nutcrackers and what else do they have in here? Tabletop decor. They had framed pieces in this area too that were really pretty. And one said, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas," and it was pink, so lots of pastel. It reminded me more of the Victorian line over at Home. The last, like, I think it was several years ago. I don't know if they've been doing it every year. I need to go to At Home. Then, what else they have? Oh, they had this kind of rustic line that we saw a little bit the other day. And I really like this rustic line. Once again, not my color scheme, not anything that goes with anything in my house, but I liked the aesthetics of it. I thought if you have this type of, like, the sage greens and the browns and the beiges in your home, this is such a good line. Gingerbread things in here like mugs and plates and do they have tabletop decor also with gingerbread people? I can't remember. But then they also had reindeer and Santa. The Santa bust was really cool. That was like a head. It was a Santa head. It was more of a rustic reindeer meets Santa, browns, tans, sages. Really pretty color scheme. I liked looking at this, even though it didn't go with anything in my color scheme. But anyway, so they had that line. Anyways, that's it for our hunt for the day. Hey everyone, it is another day. Holiday decor hunting with me and good old Mr. Skeleton. Let's look both ways, everybody. So today, Mr. Skeleton, sir, you still don't have your Santa hat on. You're slacking. Wait, railroad tracks. Hold on, Mr. Skeleton. Hold on, sir. I put my mom arm out, per usual. We're cruising to, we're crawling back to HomeGoods, everybody. We're gonna spend the entire day in line at HomeGoods today. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to HomeGoods. That's the first place we're going. It is 9:45 in the morning. We are getting there early. Come on. We're hauling balls today. So I'm just doing a little bit of a hunt today. We're doing HomeGoods. We're gonna run into Michael's really quickly to see if they got the rest of their dark line out. We haven't seen the whole thing in the flesh. We've seen little pieces of it coming out, but we haven't seen the whole thing. So we're gonna check a different store to see if they have their dark line out. Then, oh, I see, this cop was trying to catch me speeding. Guess what I wasn't doing, everybody? I was not speeding. So, we're doing good, everybody. We're doing good. We're hauling balls, but we're not hauling that fast. Anyways, I wanted to fit in a quick little hunt today because the other day HomeGoods was slammed and I didn't get anything I was looking for. We're going to a different HomeGoods today. Anyways, when is everyone decorating for the holidays? Do you decorate after Thanksgiving or do you wait till December? When do you start decorating for the holidays? Even if you decorate dark. Because I feel like even as Halloween lovers who decorate for Halloween all year round, we usually at least put up a black Christmas tree or something, like we're putting a little holiday something up. So I'm not even saying like when do you start decking the halls with boughs of jolly, fa la 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 la, whatever it is you're doing, usually there's some sort of something, like a black Christmas tree here or a little Krampus statue over there, something. Whatever it is, let me know down in the comments when you start decorating. And I'm kind of torn. I like a good fall festive harvest decor. But then also, I like to have my Christmas up because it's one less thing to do as we get closer to the holidays. Because as we get closer to the holidays, I feel like it just starts flying by and things get busy. Oh good, there's no one here at HomeGoods. Hallelujah. Finally see some parking spots. Man, the other day was slammed. Okay, here we go. We're here at HomeGoods. Anyways, I was saying that I have right now in my kitchen where I had my in-your-face Halloween stuff. I took my Halloween down, but I left the leaves up because I love the look of the orange and yellow leaves with the black cabinet. So I left those up and I just put up a couple of black pumpkins. Nothing fancy. We're going in here to HomeGoods. Here we go. We got a close parking spot, everyone. Oh, and it's also the Marshall's hybrid. We're going in. All right, we just left Michael's and HomeGoods, and then I had a little snack in the car because your ghoul was starving. First of all, I saw their whole Christmas town display. It wasn't lit up or plugged in, or I don't know. It just wasn't going yet. But they had everything laid out, and it was so magical looking. They had some really cute buildings this year. They had a really pretty tree and lots of flying reindeer, which I thought were cute. One was a whole flying reindeer. It was like a tree with these flying reindeer around it. And then I took a gander at the dark line, the dark holiday line, but it was the exact same stuff that was out at the other store was out at this store. Anyways, so we didn't see anything new. So I didn't show any new darker stuff because there was not one single individual piece we hadn't seen yet. But there was a whole line that I didn't see at the other store. It was a full-blown pink, kitschy, kind of retro inspired line. It's got pinks and reds and greens and bows, but so some of it was not retro looking and then other parts of it were very retro. Anyways, the candlestick holders definitely had more of a retro look to them. They were glass and they had different colors in them, like different color glass. And then they also had these little velvet reindeer that had a retro look to them that had little bells around the neck. And then little ornament, little topiary stack, or were those candlestick holders too? I can't remember, but they had more of the ornament, the retro looking ornaments on them. And Santas, and a lot of tabletop decor, signs that said various things. They had trays that said, did it say Very Merry or Merry Christmas or something like that on it? They had a big wreath with a bunch of ornaments on it. It was pink and red. And little Santa statues or plaques. And countdowns, like countdowns to Christmas. And other little tabletop decor that said Rules of Christmas. That kind of stuff. They had lots of bows in here too. The big bow trend. This is where I think it's trendy. I think bows could also fall into the vintage. And bows can be anywhere. Vintage or now or whenever. I don't think bows are any specific era or whatnot. But bows are definitely trendy right now. So they had a lot of bows in this area. Bow pillows, bow tabletop decor, bow what am I thinking of? Canisters or cookie jars that were pink and red, and also peppermint style things that were pink and red instead of red and white. But it was definitely more of a pink and red and green, like little hints of green retro feel. Anyways, that's what we saw new at Michael's. At HomeGoods, HomeGoods didn't have a whole, I don't know what's new and what's not new, because I don't know if anyone else feels this way about HomeGoods. And I know it's going to be like this in general because there's only so much you can do with Christmas. And you're going to have, if you have glass trees or bottle brush trees and all that kind of stuff, and Santas and nutcrackers, it's all similar themes. So it's all going to look kind of the same year after year. But this year especially, I feel like it is a lot of the same at HomeGoods. Lots of bottle brush trees and glass trees. Just trees everywhere in all the different color schemes. Greens and whites and silvers and golds and reds and pinks and wooden trees, and they had so many different trees. And so I feel like I mostly saw trees today. Tons of trees. Saw a couple of Santas in there, and also saw like some color scheme little end caps where it's like a whole red color scheme with red trees and all different red things on it. And then green, or, you know, all the different colors. Whoever puts out the displays at this HomeGoods, they just have a knack for it. It is so good every time. I think I see her putting out the stuff, like she was putting out Halloween earlier in the season. And I mentioned, I was like, I love your displays, because I saw her setting it up and it was just, there's something to it. Anyways, so they had a ton of different Christmas in here, and they had a whole end cap of nutcrackers, tons of different nutcrackers, all the different color schemes, any different theme you can think of. They have some really pretty snow globes this year. They also had a ton of ceramics, plateware, dishware, all that kind of stuff. They had one that was a whole display that was beautiful. It had those Royal Stafford plates, the red ones with the Santa and the reindeer. It was beautiful. They also had casserole dishes and all sorts of dishes on here. And then I went down the aisles. The aisles, they did still have some Joanna Parker out. So if you feel like you missed out on Joanna Parker, because I showed that from a couple weeks ago, they still had a lot of Joanna Parker left. They had mugs, they had salt and pepper shakers. So if you're looking for Joanna Parker Christmas and you feel like you totally missed out, keep checking, because they had a bunch of, it wasn't anything new, but they still had a bunch of Joanna Parker at this one. So if you don't see Joanna Parker in one location, try a different location and see if they have it there. Because I was just at the other HomeGoods the other day where I saw a ton of Joanna Parker and they had none left. This one had a ton left, so keep checking. They also had some really cute candles. I got visuals of all the, kind of a panning of some candles that were just kind of basic holiday candles. But they had these Santa candles that were really cute. LED candlesticks, kind of like the ghost ones we saw earlier, like during Halloween time, but these were Santa ones. And what else? They had some candlestick holders that were gold nutcrackers that were really pretty. And they had a ton of different reindeer, gold and black and silver. Some were metal, some were resin, all different textures and colors and all that kind of stuff of the reindeer. So lots of reindeer in here. They had a whole little acrylic section that had an acrylic church and some acrylic trees. And I love the acrylic stuff. It's so pretty. And then they also had some classic Christmas, like angels and manger, nativity, that's what I'm thinking of. Nativity scenes, all that kind of stuff. And then what else do they have? I was looking for some sheets. So last year I found these mystical, magical sheets with mushrooms and mistletoe and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not seeing anything like that this year. This year it's looking like the comeback of classic Christmas, which I really enjoy actually, but I don't know what to do in my bedroom. I might just reuse the sheets from last year just because they're actually, they look brand new. So, or wait, did they fade pretty bad? I can't remember. I had one set that faded really bad. Was it Halloween or was it Christmas? I probably need to figure that out so I know what to do. Anyways, that's besides the point. They had some Christmas sheets. A lot of the Christmas sheets this year I'm seeing are really cutesy, like Snoopy and Sesame Street. Anyway, they did have some scenery looking Christmas sheets with, you know, little lodges and trees, like snowy scenery kind of things. They had it in green and they had red. They also had a pretty green set that had like outlines of mistletoe and kind of leaf looking. Anyways, they also had a quilt set that was Hallmark. That was the brand, was Hallmark brand. It was a white quilt with candy canes on one side, and on the other side, they had candy cane, like red and white striped candy cane look on the other side. Anything else? What else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something in the Christmas area. Oh, they had a lot of paper plates, paper napkins. I always forget about this because Joann's was my favorite place to go for paper plates and napkins for the holidays, and I am so crushed. And you got to get your paper plates early because I feel like they sell out so quick. I remember last year around Christmas, I was looking everywhere for the Christmas paper plates and they had none left anywhere. So I got to see what I got, if I have any left over from Joann's over the last several years, because usually on Christmas Day I have family over, so I need to plan ahead. But they had some really cute Christmas plates that said ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, all the different Christmas colors. They had red, they had green. They didn't have exactly what I was looking for, otherwise I would have bought some. They also had some really cute cocktail napkins, and somebody educated me, spooky family out there educated me on the guest napkins, the long napkins. You know what I'm talking about? I thought they were just bigger napkins for, like, if you have people over and you don't want to use a little cocktail napkin or, like, a regular size napkin. It's a larger napkin. Like, you could put it on your lap when you eat. That's what I was thinking. But I guess the guest napkins are for the bathroom, which makes so much sense. My grandma used to put those out, and I didn't even remember that until it dawned on me. So spooky family out there, you always come through and tell me, because I think I called them large napkins or big, long napkins or something like that. Because to me, that's what I thought they were. They look like napkins. I don't know that they're that absorbent to wipe your hands on. But then also, you're going to use them as a napkin. I don't know. And I guess it totally missed me because they look the same texture and material as regular napkins. They're just longer and bigger. So I was thinking maybe it's just for like when you eat a really messy meal and you need a bigger napkin. Or like, you know, the napkins, cloth napkins, they're big like that. So I was thinking it's just a cloth napkin, but you throw it away when you're done. That's what I was thinking. Anyways, that's besides the point. We saw some long napkins, y'all. Hey everyone, not to end this video at the most random time ever, but also we're ending this video at the most random time. I apologize for the total smorgasbord of holiday hunting days and clips, and they were a little bit out of order, and it was a whole, I just kept thinking I was going to add more days. I'm like, I'll just add more days to this holiday hunting, or we're just going to go out today, we'll just add it to this video. But I wanted to do a proper send-off because for one, I didn't do a proper send-off while I was out on the hunt because I didn't know which day I was going to end it. But also I wanted to mention that a lot of the stuff we saw in this video is now on major Black Friday sales, especially the Michaels stuff. I was on the website earlier today, the Michaels website, and all that black collection they put out with all of the dark holiday vibes, all that stuff is, my brain glitch, sorry guys. All that stuff is 60% off. So what was the, Walmart also has some really good sales. Anyways, I just wanted to hop on here really quickly. First of all, to do a proper send off, see how you guys are doing. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving if you celebrate. And we're in the holiday season. We're in it, but we're so close to December. I can't believe it. I feel like November flew by. Everything, I always say this, but once August hits, I feel like it just flies by. So here we are, end of November. Happy holiday hunting, everybody. But I also wanted to mention the steals of a deals on some of these things that we saw in this video. And also, side note, this robe, last I checked, it might be sold out now, I don't know. Last I checked on Pottery Barn, it was $38 on sale for Black Friday. They also have a holiday one, but I didn't think it was as cute. It just has candy canes. I was hoping I'd see like a Fair Isle kind of holiday version of this, but they didn't have anything. But if you're wanting this robe for the holidays, definitely put it on your list. This is an amazing robe for $38. I think my mother-in-law paid $80, and she was like, oh, that was a steal. I think she paid $80 and gave it to me for my birthday. But the original is like 100 and something, like 130 something, 150 something. So it's a steal of a deal for 30 something. I think it's $38 or 39. I don't know, but it's a steal of a deal. I had to mention it because I will jab my jaws for all eternity about this robe. I'll put it in my YouTube shop. So I'll have it in my YouTube shop. If it's not there, it'll be in the description. But just in case you're looking for a robe like this, but also if you're looking for ideas for yourself or other people who love a good spooky situation, I wanted to mention it. I'm not trying to hard sell you on this robe. I just jam my jaws about it because I live in this thing, and I will tell anyone who will listen about it, but especially if you know me, then you know I love a steal of a deal. So I'll never let you down on a steal of a deal. So I had to mention it. What else are we gonna talk about? Oh, I think that's it. We'll have Vlogoween, not Vlogoween. It's Vlogoween, everybody. I wish. We'll have Vlogmas here coming up in December. So starting December 1st, we'll be vlogging every day until Christmas. You know, hang out, do festive things together, and wrap gifts, decorate, do all the things. Anyways, hope you're having an amazing end of November. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and good old Mr. Skeleton on the holiday. I almost said Halloween, you know I did. On the holiday hunt. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Say, hey, ghoul, hey, down in the comments, because you know I love talking to you. And anything else you want to talk about, anything you saw in this video, any of the lines that you really loved, any of your favorite stores this year, or just any of your favorite themes this year. Maybe you didn't shop at any of the stores. You're just going with the themes that you love, that are tried and true every year. Or maybe you made your own decorations this year. Let me know your themes down in the comments. And if you're already decorated, if you've started decorating, or do you wait until December? Let me know. I'm starting to take this down this weekend. I'm gonna start decorating for Christmas this weekend. So I had some harvest stuff up and now I'm ready. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.